What's going on, everyone? This is Eric, and we're going to be going over the games from this past weekend up in Boston. First of all, just really, really quick turnaround time on these games, partially because we have the ability to not just use the ball or TV, but also the live barn, which actually is much more comprehensive about getting the actual footage because it's not dependent on an actual person and moving the camera. So that was really good. We were able to download them. I was able to download them really quickly and submit them for breakdown. Um, and this team actually did a really, really nice job keeping the uniform set and everything was literally perfect. So we were able to grab some good footage. So let's get into it. There are three very, very different games here, and I think we can learn from all three of them. You had one really, really well played game where you guys won, and we'll talk about that. And then we had a game where you just kind of got run out of the gym. We'll talk about that one. And then that last game, which was kind of ugly, but you were able to gut out the win, I think. But we'll go through the numbers and see what happened in all of them. All right. Let's first go to the Spartans game, which was this is a really, this is a good team, and you guys played very, very well. And these are the numbers that you're going to need to beat teams like this. And you guys, I mean, excellent, excellent, excellent job. Again, we look at the three main statistics here, and it's funny, like two of them really, really stand out here. One of them, well, first of all, your effective field goal percentage of 58.5% is excellent. And I remember that 55% is what you're going to need to beat teams like this. And you were able to accomplish it. Really, really nice job. The real winner, though, was this turnover rate at only 7%. I mean, this is exceptional. I mean, you put those two things together, a good effective field goal percentage and a low turnover rate, that makes up for a lot of other stuff. So really, really good job. Your offensive rebound percentage was really low. I guess the other team was really big, and that just kind of happens sometimes. But these two things, effective field goal percentage and turnover rate, really, really, really good job. Let's take a look at the shot chart from this game and see how the shots were distributed here. And yeah, there were a couple of bad twos. Three, five, six, seven bad twos out of 59. So I would like to get those down, but it's kind of hard for me to argue with that effective field goal percentage in general. You guys did pretty well from three, and you did very well finishing outside the rim. Um, but yeah, I mean overall, pretty good job. Let's take a look at the stats in this game. Take a look at this by athlete, see who did what. You have to sort by totals against Spartans. All right, let's look from three first of all. Let's see. I know all of you. I mean, Orlando, very, very nice game, 3 of 5 from three. Elijah, 2 of 6 from three, right within the range we want. Maybe one more make could have been great, whatever. But Elijah, 7 for 9 from two, very, very nice. Nikeem, really, really good, efficient performance here. 2 for 2 from three, 4 for 6 from two. Weedy, 2 for 7. Again, you have a big, sample size, so I'm not concerned about that, obviously. Kyle 0 for 2 again, not a big deal. I mean, all you guys were, I mean, this is a really, really good game. What else can we look at here? Turnovers, nobody really with more than one turnover. Orlando with two, but you had 4 assists. So we're going to get to some good individual statistics for the season. And this is a really, really good performance, guys. I mean, to be perfectly honest, and I earn the right to say that because I do trash on a lot of these performances, and this one is really, really good. And this is what you're going to need to beat teams like this. Overall, uh, kudos, very, very nice. So then you ended up running into this expressions EYBL team, and I mean, listen, I don't know how much Chris got on you for this performance. Chris and I are a little different about this kind of thing. I mean, I think that sometimes you just kind of run into teams that you just can't do anything with, and this team was just I don't know. You maybe you've seen them before, but I haven't. And this team should be in the freaking NBA. I mean, I don't know what this team's all about. I don't know who anybody beats this team. They were amazing, and there's nothing you could have done. Now, could you have made better decisions? Yes, and we'll talk about that. Um, could you have played a little less scared? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's I wasn't there. I can't really tell. So I do know that. I mean, 1 for 12 from two is not great. Okay, but we'll talk about it. But let's go straight by the numbers first. Effective field goal percentage. I mean, 23%. I mean, you're just obviously that's just not gonna work. And you did hold on to the ball okay, and that's one bright light, silver lining. So 10% turnover rate, that's good. Offensive rebound percentage, you weren't able to get any of the shots you missed, so that's just not going to lead into anything good. So this is the way it goes. From three, you were 6 for 39. So let's take a look. May as well just take a look at the shot chart here and see what this is all about. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would like to illustrate, by the way, that you were 0 for 5 from bad twos. So again, you guys can click through and see which of these are, worth taking and which are not. I'm not gonna get out. The coaches know, you guys coaches know by now what to look for over here, but obviously shooting 6 bad twos is not going to help you here. Um, and you can look at these threes and see how many of them were contested, how many of them were, not contested. Just one of those, it's one of those tough matchups, best I can describe it. Let's take a look at the individuals from the game. And again, to get too down on anybody is kind of unfair. But hey, listen, Isaiah, you fought hard, 3 for 8 from three. You know, Elijah, you weren't intimidated. You should not took 9 threes, made two, another one made, and that would have been fine. So not the end of the world. 0 for 3 from two. I mean, we could look through those and see what those are all about. But everybody was in the same boat here. Tough spot, tough game. Turnovers were pretty evenly distributed throughout, but again, you just didn't really turn the ball over too much. Maybe you shot a little too quickly because you wanted to kind of try to stay in the game here, but then you couldn't get any rebounds. So it was a tough spot. Can't really do much about it. All right, let's go on to the last game, which was the Expressions Elite. Now, this one was kind of ugly, all right, because this team I don't think was that great. I'm just like with the Expressions, their B team or whatever. And let's see what your numbers were over here. Yeah, I mean, 39% effective field goal percentage is really not good, and if you just played your normal game, you probably would have beaten this team, I think, pretty easily. You ended up, gutting it out by 2 points, but 39% effective field goal percentage is not great. I mean, to say the least. And we're gonna have to look into what that's all about. The thing that really concerns me here is this turnover rate. I mean, this is not your guy's main your jam. You know what I mean? You don't usually turn the ball over. So this one is a little bit annoying to see. I'm going to, I guess, write this off as kind of an outlier. But again, you guys are you shouldn't be turning the ball over this many times. So coaches, you can go through and look at all the turnovers and see what those are all about. Offensive rebound percentage. Now, again, you don't seem to be able to get a bunch of rebounds here, but again, the teams you're playing are enormous, so I don't know what else to say. You could, again, try to run guys off the weak side a little bit more to crash. That could help. Um, let's take a look at the shot chart from this game and get into this one a little bit more, maybe. I mean, again, 5 bad twos out of 43. Not the end of the world. I would like to have more perfect shot charts, but looks as though your 3-point makes were pretty bad here. I mean, you were 0 for 11 from over here, which is kind of strange. And we're going to look at some of the shot distributions for the season in a minute. But let's first go into the stats and see who did what in this game individually. Expressions Elite by totals. All right, let's see. First of all, from three, Elijah again 2 for 6. Again, you're right there. I mean, nothing, not a big deal one way or the other. Kyle was 2 for 3. Weedy 0 for 3. No good, obviously. What else can we look at here?
You guys finished at the rim okay. You just took a lot of threes that you didn't make, I guess. Again, you could click through here and see which of these were contested or not, but that's not for me to do. Elijah, 3 turnovers. Weedy, 3 turnovers. Again, nothing that bad. And and Elijah, you offset that with 3 assists, so not terrible. Um, so overall, I mean, again, you just a lot of just missed shots, you know. And again, as players and as coaches, you can go through and see which of these you would want back. Like for example, I did Elijah's last week. Yeah, let's take a look at his threes, see what this is all about. And let's see which of these I would want. It's a good cut, Orlando, by the way. Yeah, so that's on the borderline between being contested and uncontested. I don't think I have a problem with that. Again, I don't really know you guys too well. So this one you have to take. I mean, you have to take that all day long. 100%. See this one? Yeah, that might be a little deep, I think. But I don't know. You know your range better than me. Let's see this one. I mean, all day. I mean, you could have done a good try to one more for Orlando. This is what I love when players do this. Orlando, like when okay, obviously like you're open, and he could have done the one more, and yeah, this is there. But so you could have done one of two things, Orlando. I like calling you out for this. You could have either like crashed, okay, with nobody boxing you out, or you could have done what you did and just hold your hands out there to Elijah, just saying, "Oh, come on, man, I'm here," and just continue to hold them. Let's see, look at this. Oh, it's already gone. I mean, like, continue to hold your hands here as like a signal that you should have passed to me. Still there. Hands are still there. Hands are still there. The ball's already gone, and his hands are still there. See, now this is something I just see a lot. You could have just crashed and yeah, and got upset later. Not a big deal, right? So anyway, but I thought all those shots were fine. Um, just I guess you guys didn't make them sometimes. That's just the way it goes. So let's take a look at some interesting statistics for the season. Okay. Let's first take a look at the overall. Let's first look at overall stats for you guys, and we're going to look at literally the whole season here and see where we're at as far as what we're looking to do. Overall, we're looking for 55% effective field goal percentage, and we're not there. We're at 51. And that's why we're not dominating. Okay. Winning some games, losing some games, getting crushed by some good teams, winning a couple ugly ones. So this has to be improved. You got to improve your shot selection a little bit. Got to get a little better at making these shots you're taking. Turnover rate, right there where we need to be. Offensive rebound percentage is a problem because you're just not getting an offensive rebound, but it's very difficult to fix. I mean, again, you could get bigger, right? Or you could crash. The weak side, that is definitely something you could do. Um, let's take a look. This is kind of interesting. Let's take a look at the shot chart here. And want to look at the shot chart for the whole season. And I just wanted to kind of show you this. So this shot chart for the whole season, and you see that you have about, 6, 12, whatever. You have a certain distribution of bad twos, good twos, whatever. But one thing you could do is you could instead separate this by zone breakdowns. And so what you can see is your percentages from these various spots. Now, again, if you're looking for a 55% effective field goal percentage, the only place where you're getting that is here at the rim. So even here, they're bad twos, you're at 42%, which is actually better than a lot of teams. I mean, honestly, but it's still not what you're supposed to be taking, right? Because if you're looking for a 55% effective field goal percentage, and these are only worth 2 points, it's just not going to be good enough. You're going to have to shoot 55% from here to get there. And here from three, you're going to need to get this up a little bit. 32% is not going to be good enough for a 55% effective field goal percentage. You're going to need to get about at least 33, but hopefully like 37%. Okay. So this has to be improved. This has to be improved. And basically, you want to try to get more shots at the rim. Okay. But this is kind of an interesting view of the different. And if you wanted to, you could literally click through all of these and see all of this stuff. All right, let's take a look at and by the way, the other thing you could do, check this out. You can actually do it by athleting everybody's shot chart for the season, which is pretty cool, you know? All right, let's take a look at the individuals. Let's see, stats, all athletes, totals. So what we're looking for, and I want to highlight a couple of things for you guys and for the coaches too. First of all, from a scoring perspective, again, what we're looking for are players that can either shoot 55% from two or 38% from three. So let's see where we are as far as that goes. As far as twos go, small samples, but Isaiah, obviously you're doing great. You guys are a little weak from two. You don't have to say. I mean, you want to get to closer to 55. You're close, but you're not quite there. From three, uh, Kyle, 40%, which is good. Elijah, you're right there on the border. You know, I'd like it 37, but whatever. This is close enough. You just keep firing. Isaiah, 33%, little light. Weedy, 33, a little light. Orlando, 33, a little light. I think this is all the well within the range of outcomes. Jake, 5 for 20, not great. Sean, 4 for 19, not great. Manny is 15% with 33 shots. So that's could be a problem. I don't know. You know the players better than I do. So there's that. A couple of other stats that I wanted to kind of highlight, which I thought were really worth mentioning here, is look at Orlando. So Orlando and Isaiah, you're doing a really, really good job with the assist to turnover ratio. Like you really want to have, I mean, if you can get an assist to turnover ratio of about two, that's really good. And Orlando specifically, not only you have a great assist to turnover ratio of 26 to 13, but you're also combining it with a lot of deflections and steals, which is great. Okay. And Isaiah as well. Isaiah, 12 deflections, 12 steals. Really, really good. Um, uh, so I'm very, very comfortable with the ball in your guys' hands. You know, so again, that's something that you can look at, you know, what your assist to turnover ratios are. Elijah is a little weak as far as assist to turnover ratios, but he's not as much of a point guard as more of just kind of a raw scorer. So this is a little more acceptable. And Elijah with the 12 deflections, which is good, the 5 steals, which is good, whatever. Manny, you know, again, the shooting was a problem so far, but since the turnover ratio is pretty good and you're doing well with the peripheral. So this is, again, a little something that you could continue to look at. So overall, I think you guys are, I don't want to say underachieving. I'm not underachieving, just kind of underperforming a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you're doing exactly what your numbers suggest you should be doing. You just got to improve your numbers a little bit. You just have to just shoot a little bit better from three. Your shot selection is getting a little bit better. Maybe scheme a little better from your rebounding, but and that's pretty much it. Next week I think it's in Brooklyn, and I will catch up to you guys then. Good luck, everybody.